We just don't use the scheme.
We plan the scheme, and then we abandon the scheme before we have an opportunity to see the scheme fail. That's the thing. The other thing is, the only schemes we actually do use is the counter ambush, which we have used successfully.
The counter ambush is your signature move.
That is this party's signature.
And it works.
It does. Like, it works 80% of the time, all the time.
Welcome to Jarviskjir Here Be Heroes. Pioneers of the counter ambush.
Yeah.
Although the inventor of the counter ambush is not here today.
Yes.
So, you probably won't be doing any counter ambushing. How are you all doing?
Pretty good.
Aside from your internet dying constantly.
Except for all of that. Except for like the last half hour or so.
It's been
where everything's been breaking. Oh, and that's been a good day.
Good. Good. Should we get into the nitty-gritty of it? Yeah, no, because first we have to recap the last session. So,
all right, I guess. All right.
Last week, you went to Mount Birth, a city on top of the mountains in Vazalstella. The mountain elves are there trying to help because they're under siege by fire giants. Like madmen, Josiah and Vurik went to go stop their siege engine that was attacking the city fruitlessly because of mountain elf magic. But for how long? And Tobias single-handedly one-man tanks a giant in just a ludicrous display.
Just amazing.
Yeah. And the fact that you slayed a giant 2 men actually rallied the defensive forces to such a degree that you were allowed inside the city when no one's been allowed inside the city for thousands of years. Bridging the gap between the Phoenix Bloods and the Mountain Elves to a degree. While you're going through there, you discovered that in the Chapel of the Phoenix is the Fire Gate Stone in a chandelier. You have to go through some convincing, telling someone's like, oh, I know this is a relic of your culture that's been here for thousands of years, but we need to take it now. And Vurik starts climbing up the chandelier, and just as he gets right up close to the gate stone, there is an explosion, and you are sucked into the air. And that is where we are going to start today's session, with you guys rolling initiative. Now, where am I going to put the turn order?
Yeah. And I will.
Where are you going to look
on
not
the role
cursed?
of Tobias today? Poorly, I might add.
Yeah.
Do
I will
we
just
all get to roll for
all you do it as well. I will describe everything after the fact. Ignore what I'm doing up here.
Damn.
Just ignore it.
Good initiative considering.
Tobias's initiative. One moment, I'm gonna roll mine
Considering
now.
I'm not there.
Yeah, exactly.
You may have noticed that we're not on a battle map.
Yes,
I did notice that.
Did notice that.
So maybe things are more complicated than they seem.
Oh no.
I do see.
Let me open up my monster manual.
I scrolled up on here and I'm not happy with what I see.
Stop spoiling by looking at the tokens I'm using for the
It
battle.
was just on my screen.
You're spoiling
you
it.
need to see it.
Actually, if anyone's going to see what's happening, it's me right now.
Yep, that's true. That's a fair point.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so whipping the turn order into effect. Funnily enough, Aelinor is first. So we will describe the scene in all its great glory. First off, with Aelinor.
Somehow I'm not on the turn order.
How did you fuck this up, Mr. Brew?
I don't know. I clicked on my token. I got Tobias's on there normally.
You did.
Maybe it just didn't like that I did 2 separate tokens initiatives for this.
Yeah, maybe you did it too soon.
Maybe. Yeah.
I added
It's 16.
I
That's
did it.
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
then
it's
you put a
16?
14.
Yes,
It's
it is a 16. Because your
Because
name is
Tobias
Barut,
is a 14.
but you're
Yeah.
playing Tobias.
And Barut. Yes.
Whoa.
No, look. I'm gonna hold on. I'll fix this. One moment. let me fix this.
No, it's all good. So,
Hold on.
Aelinor,
There we
you
go.
weren't here last week, so
Problem solved.
you are entering the scene from afar. You have been trekking up the mountains after checking up on the mountain elves and doing some healy stuff that you do, and are trekking over to the city walls, the city gates, where you see what they saw, the tents of mountain elves and the sword that is resting up beside the gate, the fire giant sword. When you get up close to the city, and you haven't been running the whole way there because you've got a long hike, you hear the sound, you hear an explosion and the sound of commotion. You would run up closer and you would see the mountain elves below the gate, the soldiers on the gate, and then the cause of the commotion. A gigantic bird with a wingspan in the hundreds of feet that is flying above the dome of the cathedrals, the castles of Mount Birth, with two fire giants upon its back. With that,
I'm sorry, what?
your first turn is going to be getting up there, so that's your turn. You're up by the gates. You can think of whatever the hell your plan is going to be. It's definitely a loose combat today. Next up is Papyra. Let's describe.
It is not.
Oh,
I am at 16. You.
well, sorry. Maybe if you didn't fuck up doing things properly. Give me one.
Look, using two characters is difficult.
Give me.
okay?
Oh, really? Two characters.
It's
Give
difficult.
me one petite moment, please.
Sure.
So, what you see? Varric was climbing up the chandeliers. As he does, you were like, you know Varric could do this, but you're a paranoid, anxious elf. As he gets up there and as he reaches for the gate stone where it sits in the metal framing, there's this big explosion that collapses like a good quarter of the dome, right? Because of the explosion, there's sort of an influx of air. You feel everyone's sort of sucked in. You're way far away from it. It's like 50 feet up in the, or 60 feet up in the sky. But you see Varric get sucked out of but without even the gatestone in his hands, kind of like that. And then as the sort of smoke from the explosion clears, that's when you see the giant bird with the two giants on its back. What they are, you didn't see the giant that Tobias fought, but these giants are less armed and armored. But you don't get amazing sights. You just get enough sight of them to be like, they are definitely fire giants on a bird big enough to carry two fire giants. And very clearly one of them is in the sort of moments after casting a spell, they're kind of clutching what looks like some kind of holy symbol in a big, strong hand with wreaths of fire around it.
Now how far away from me are they? I'm assuming more.
So
than
the roof is 60 feet.
Yep.
They are about 20 feet above the roof, so they are 80 feet up.
80 feet. Then I'm gonna shoot at the bird with a guiding bolt. That's
Okie dokes.
one moment, please. Uno momento, por favor.
Sorry.
I just
read
realized I
what
didn't.
Jules said in chat, and I love it.
Which what?
Please return your tray to the upright position and enjoy your flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember
Oh,
this
it's
goes
such a
on
bad
YouTube.
roll.
You can't just quote chat without reference. Yeah, you
Someone
shoot
said to feel the voice is kind of low.
the voices are low. They are because it was set for Tetris.
That's okay. I'm shouting a lot right now.
You muster the guiding bolt, thrust your hand forward, and the light kind of dissipates in the strong gusts of wind that every flap of this creature's huge wings give off.
Okay. Can I see the gate stone at all?
It's exactly where it's not moved. It's still there, about 50 feet
Okay.
up. Because it's kind of like it was in position, but then there was stained glass and this dome all around it.
Right.
So there was like kind of a 10 feet headspace. So it's still exactly in place. The explosion has rocked the chandelier, but you got to actually give some credit to the
apparently the
construction.
construction is good.
It has not fallen apart.
Okay.
If you got to imagine this chandelier is almost like a spider web on that 50-foot up layer of metal with dangling light fixtures and things, with the gate stone in the middle of what is almost like a Game of Thrones-esque kind of framed dome thing, framed sphere.
Are there pillars in this room?
There's one singular pillar that's under the chandelier, under the center, under the gate stone. So what Virik climbed up on.
Right. I'm gonna move as close as I can to that, but I'm not climbing it or anything.
Yeah, you just get position under it.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okie dokie. The only other person in the room with you, because you used to have the leader of the Phoenix Bloods, he left and you had this, 30 minutes or so of, what are we going to do? And I actually need to add them to the... you know what, they're a lair action. This is their lair. Yeah. I'll just do them on initiative 20 like a lair action.
That sounds good. I like that. I like that they are the layer action for this. That makes sense.
Really cool.
This military city, this military religious city, he got something to say.
It makes
on initiative 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like. Yeah, we're this very.
Oh no.
For it now.
So I just need to check because next up is Papyra's turn. Papyra is right here with you. In a very very mountain elf way, as soon as that kind of like instinct to fight or flight kicks in, she was kind of a little laughy, jokey at this whole situation, being aware that everything is much bigger than she is. Yeah. Very quickly sort of changes all of her tact and actually kind of puts a hand to the circlet around her head that kind of looks like antlers, and her other hand launches up, and from that hand beams of blue light launch up to the bird up above. They kind of are blue and then they just manifest into this bright piercing white. It kind of hurts your eyes from the corner of eye when you see it, and she's going to cast Scorching Ray, which means I need another d6. Where's my dice bag? There's my candy jar.
Well, that's
not dice. Oh well. She is going to miss every ray. Oh, it's an Ian cast. It's an Ian cast of Scorching Ray so hard. Yeah. The beams of light, clearly not being someone prepared for fighting this sort of battle. It's a powerful spell. Most of it's going into the stonework. Unfortunately. Next up is Tobias. Tobias was in the room, also in the room with you. I didn't mention him because you are both of them. Yes. Instead of Tobias being NPC'd, we're going to have Mr. William pilot him today.
Would this bird be a monstrosity by any chance?
Oh, yes, it would be. If you actually want to use your bonus action to take a nature check to know what it is, you totally can.
No, that's all right. Knowing it's a monstrosity is enough. Hold on, I just need to read something really quickly here. Because I'm not familiar with...
No, of course.
Yeah.
I like the idea that with it being a monstrosity, he got that spider sense just before the explosion of just, hang on.
Yeah. There is no battle map. This battle is taking place across a city and is mostly vertical, which doesn't work on Roll20.
Ignore the damn... I don't know why he doesn't have that set up as a spell card. Anyways, I'm doing Hunter's Mark on the bird because it's 90-foot range.
I guess because Hunter's Mark is pretty basic. You kind of know what it does.
Yeah. And I'm going to pull out... Well, Tobias is going to pull out his longbow because we're in a ranged situation here to some extent. And he's going to take a shot.
Range.
Yeah. Now, he has advantage on longbow attacks on creatures that haven't...
It hasn't taken its initiative yet.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to remember what he does.
No, yeah. I would have forgotten that one.
Yeah. All right. One longbow attack is bad.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
You just see the arrow. It like goes like you're looking up into sunlight. This chapel is designed for that, and the arrow just kind of goes off, and it does hit the creature. But a creature that big, you need serious force to actually plunge an arrow deep.
Yeah, he's gonna try again regardless. Maybe try and land one this time.
That's a hit.
Ooh, there we go. All right. So that's gonna be 5 piercing damage, and then
the arrow hits. The creature looks mostly unaffected by such a small amount of damage.
Yeah. And then Tobias is gonna run up kind of near Baruit, but on another side of the pillar for the moment.
Virik, you were this all happened so quickly that you've been the explosion basically happened right above you to a slight angle, and you were sucked up that way with the vortex of air that the explosion caused. So your turn, actually, you start very high up above the city.
Yep. Okay.
This is your turn to react and maybe save yourself before you fall. Now, it's Featherfall that makes you fall 60 feet a turn. So you're going to hit the ground after at the end of this turn, unless you do something.
Hit ground.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so how far away from me is the bird?
No more than 15 or so. I mean, it's one of those things where this is such a big creature. It's gargantuan, but its wings are actually much bigger than that. So, like, pretty freaking close.
Okay.
I think I know what you're doing, and I'm not happy about it, but I love it at the same time.
At any point in my current trajectory, am I underneath it in the shadow?
You're already like kind of in a separate angle. They seemingly cast a spell from the back of this giant bird to blow up the roof. So they weren't. Okay. You're not gonna like fall into them. You're kind of like like a slightly different angle.
Going away from them. What I mean is, like, at any point, am I in the shadow of the bird? Because I need dim light is what I'm asking.
You're not in the shadow now, and you don't have time to think if you would be in the future.
That's not going to work.
No.
Do I have time to do the short sword rope?
This is why I'm giving you a turn.
I'm gonna short sword rope go for the foot.
Okay. Can you give me an acrobatics? Can you give me an acrobatics roll for this? It's basically I'm gonna treat it like a grapple.
Interesting.
Whoa! Okay, so it has a very good modifier. Roll 2. So you are so small and insignificant to this creature.
That's what I'm planning on. That's what I'm hoping on. Because
and the interesting thing is, you have the closest view to this creature. You can see that the giant's on top of it, wearing chain, but not as heavy armor as the other giant you fought before. It's sort of a lighter chain with leathers. They don't have saddles. They have some barding and things, but this looks almost like a wild creature, not like a trained war beast. You know, just being maybe manipulated or something. I mean, some sort of control. There's reins, but there's nothing more than that. And you have tried to mount creatures before. This is more than that. So as you're falling, you kind of instinctively set up the sword and the rope, which honestly, you probably still have connected from last time. Yeah. You whip the rope around its legs. It doesn't even do any damage. It kind of like lassos on with the blade, kind of attaching to the thick scales and claws of this creature's huge leg. And you can, right now, because that's your whole turn, you are suspended at the end of the rope.
That's perfect.
From its leg.
That is actually perfect for what I want to do. Okay, good. That's my turn.
That was amazing.
Can you give me a stealth check, please?
Oh, that I can do.
It didn't notice you, first of all. Now it might.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a nat 20.
It was almost a nat 20.
You can tell at this point the creature knows there's something weighing on it, but from what you guys can see, and now at this point Virik actually sees this the worst, the giant who's like in front, they're both sitting like one behind the other, kind of like tugs at the reins quite sharply to make the beast focus. And then when it's the giant's turn, when the one who is in front, the one who is basically the beast's rider, takes their holy symbol. Again, it's too far away for you to see what it is, but you can just tell the way they're holding it, the way they're wielding it. It's almost like a rod with some kind of display on top, and holds it up, and this large, almost hand of fire comes out of the symbol and snakes downwards, and goes to the gate stone, grips it, and it all from the metal framing. But that's all a mage hand can move. So it is still there holding the gate stone right now.
I like that the giants have a giant mage hand.
Yes.
The other one, seeing that there's creatures down there, and you can hear that they're having some sort of communication, but it's too windy and too loud for anyone to hear it. You can just see that they're talking. Clutches the symbol again, and actually takes a ruby in the other hand and kind of jams them together. And there's this searing light as the ruby is almost absorbed by the holy symbol in its hand. And by the pillar, where both, all three of you are, you smell this smell of forge fire and of sulfur and of hot spices. And this kind of creature of magma starts pulling itself out of the pillar rock, leaving no trace of its remain. It's around about the same size of you and roughly humanoid. But as the magma is starting to cool, it's got this skin that's dark greys, blues, greens, covered in barbs and spikes, and is kind of hard to see through the smoke that's coming off the creature. And I need to add it to initiative order.
Good.
And that's right between you and Tobias.
Oh no.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Between us, you say?
Yeah.
Betwixt,
yeah.
Mm.
We'll use this one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have so many monsters open for this fight. Ooh,
Yeah.
what a day to
my
lose
God.
my bookmark again. Every stream.
All right.
I'm so sad I don't have key points, because there was a different plan I was thinking of doing, but I don't have any left from the other fight.
Okay. This is when a hail of spears is launched from the soldiers on the walls of Mount Birth.
Fuck yeah.
You do hear, a command of fire, and also a good deal of preaching. Banish this unholy creature from our lands! And a hail of spears that fly up towards the creature. It doesn't seem to do much damage. These are mundane spears against the creature, just so huge that even a shot from Tobias's bow did nothing to it. Most of them snap in a beat of its wings or crash against the side, but it does a good job of seemingly distressing the creature quite a lot. And next up is your turn, Aelinor, as you see the soldiers from all around the city firing at the creature. Now, this is all happening roughly in the middle of the city. The gates are actually slightly open now because they opened them to let these guys in.
Okay. So I'm just gonna move forward, I suppose.
Okay. Sprint.
Yeah. How far away are they? Roughly.
It's a city. You're just gonna have to take a couple of turns. Unfortunately. Can you give me an athletics check?
Sure.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
I can just imagine like the people in the street looking up at the ceiling, like, and then just boom.
Yeah, heavily armored Viking running past. All right, you got a ways to go. Speaking of Barut, This horrible creature appears beside you. Again, that smell is overpowering. It's burning. It hurts your nose that's coming off this creature. And now that like the magma is kind of cooled off of it, it's not a creature made of stone or magma at all. But it kind of looks around with a mouth that could not exist on an organic creature. It's kind of a V shape, full of sharp teeth, and it grins giddily, looking between the two of you.
Good. I have a decision to make. Basically,
And while this is all happening, there's the giant hand on the gatestone.
Bruit is going to prepare to help Tobias jump up the pillar to get up there faster. Yeah. That's and can I? This is something I want to ask. Can I cast Cure Wounds on him as I'm lifting him up?
Nah.
Okay.
Not as a prepared action.
Add the
All
20
right.
that we got from the drinky drink last time. Right at the very end, we realized we forgot to add the golden drink, the Healy drink.
I don't know if Josiah.
You
did
did that. You did that.
I
I told you.
I
I told you all. If you did not add it, by your graves,
I was
you
at
shall
full
rest.
health, so I didn't.
I definitely added it. Sorry.
I don't know if Josiah did. I'm assuming he did because he is not on death's door.
Okay, good, yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, basically that would be your action to help him next turn.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to see if I could do that because it is a touch spell and everything. But
I'm a healer.
Papyra is going to... Let's see if she's high enough level to cast what would be useful. And then inevitably decide that she can't. No. No. Nope. She's low level.
Oh dear.
She is going to back up because she's not within melee range of this creature and cast Sanctuary on herself.
Yeah, fair.
that's ideal, honestly. That's
But she doesn't go all the way like she's trying to run away from the room, but she's just backing up so she's not a target. She very much does not want to run away. You can, you know.
Okay.
This is a relaxed fight. I
Alright,
mean, everyone's gonna die, but it's a relaxed fight.
Yeah. No, I just forgot that it's a bonus action. That's the only.
No, it's easy to do with bonus action spells because they're usually their own thing. I always lose my bookmark. Every time I find it again, I'm like, I'll put that aside for D&D, and guess what I don't do? Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah,
no problem. Or I have this one if you prefer.
I have two. I just lose both of them. They came from Christmas crackers.
I use bookmarks.
Well, I got many monsters in different parts of books to deal with right now. It's the only time I do. I don't do it for real books. Because I don't read real books, because I'm the problem with millennials today. The creature that appears before you, Tobias and Barut. Its long tail kind of wraps around it, and it looks around at the two of you. And it's actually going to whip at Tobias with the tail, which is a crit.
That hits, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Crazy.
Like, it's almost an afterthought. The creature turns very quickly around to you, Barut, and the tail, which is coated in spines and spikes, just cracks into Tobias, dealing 17 piercing damage. And then its claws on long, gangly fingers just launch into you. I just realized I left my cupboard open. You can see my boxes. How rude. My unmentionables.
My AC is 20 currently.
Both of the attacks against you, kind of like focusing yourself to help Tobias get up. Like, you could just fully focus on shielding right now. And it just scratches against your shield. Now it's Tobias's turn.
And Tobias is going to drop his hunter's mark, go into a ragey rage, so that he can try and climb up that pillar faster and deal with that mage hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Athletics
guessing
with advantage.
Yeah.
He is going to get attack of opportunity against him if he survives.
Yeah. So
that's a good enough roll. He gets an attack against him, which is garbage. So yeah, the creature kind of like lunges up at him, but you like shield bash it to make sure that it's just a kind of weak attack.
By helping Tobias up, I like to think that Baruit literally just sat there with the shield, and then Tobias just ran up his shoulder.
Oh, that's even better. I was thinking of a Three Vikings thing, Lost Vikings.
Baruit isn't going down here. He's just this block. Tobias just runs up and then goes up.
That's
pillar.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that allows Tobias to just leap. You can get up to where the Gatestone is in the hand on your turn. Unfortunately, that's nothing else unless you have a bonus action that you can really do anything with.
No, well, I use my bonus action to rage. So
exactly, Virik, you are dangling at the end of the rope under this creature that is now being attacked by spears.
Okay. I'm gonna climb up far enough that I'm within range to do this. And I want to try and get all of the two fire giants on its back and it.
Give me an athletics check for climbing the rope real quick. I hate to say it, it's an easy check, but it's one you still have to do.
Oh, you're kidding me. It's 60 feet though, so can I cast it before I fall? As I fall?
Yes! Yeah. It's one of those things like...
rope right now?
Yeah.
What?
You didn't have to. You could have just
exactly. I will allow you to cast it as you fall.
That's fine. Okay, it was too late. I have a plan for what I want to do when I'm on the ground. Anyway, I had two plans. One was on the thing. One was on the ground.
Now, luckily, because you are at the end of rope. No, this is a 1. This is worst case scenario.
Yeah,
this is you climbing up the rope to cast this spell. And it's one of those things, yeah, you can launch it at far, but you want to get it on all of the creatures on top of there. You climb up, and that's when the creature notices you. And it straight up actually looks down, like with its wings
it does
beating.
that, like, whoa.
Yeah, and then just kind of scrapes you off with the other talon, and you tumble, and you fall. And you're gonna take damage.
Yeah.
Hopefully you fall directly on the gatestone, and then you can just knock it out of the giant's
You're gonna
face.
take 40 fall damage.
Okay,
Land prone on the
that's 10.
streets.
Because I have
You still land
thing
prone, but yeah, that's the thing. You're the monk. You can take that.
Yep.
Like it's one of those things where like you almost like a cat twist around in the right way
And
to
then
kind of take the hit. It's murder on the knees.
But you take it. Yeah, superhero landing, and then he's just like, fuck my knees. Okay, continue.
And you can deal with that next turn. The giant burb is...
Was I able to get Fairy Fire off before I fell, or is that not at all?
Nah. Nah, it was a 1.
Okay,
worst case
fine.
scenario. Even if you did, you probably would have lost concentration anyway, knowing you.
You're not wrong.
I don't think there's really much the bird can do because it's being used as a mount right now and it can't really attack anything. It's like, you can tell. The creature wants to fight. It wants to pluck at this creature that had the gall to climb it. But the giants riding it are like trying to keep it in place because they have the mage hand snaking. Like it's almost like a snake of fire coming up to that holy symbol. And on this turn, the mage hand is going to bring the gatestone back up to the top giant. And that's his turn. The giant in back there is going to kind of like you just hear a laugh from what all this chaos is going on. From that giant, and he is going to, while I find his stats, cast a spell that is... Baruch, could you give me a dex save, please?
Yes, I will do it on the correct character as well.
He kind of laughs, seeing the plight of these tiny creatures trying to fight them,
16.
and launches down a ball of fire. Sort of using almost the holy symbol like a wand, just with a flick. This ball of fire spins and tumbles and explodes on the ground. You fail that save, actually. Fortunately, you're not within Aelenor's aura, and Papyra also fails. Much more than you did. Not that that matters, but I feel the need to describe it. Now, I always find it hard to find Fireball, because it stretches over 2 pages.
Yes.
8d6. There we go. So that's going to be 27 fire damage. And Papyra is going to take that as well, but she takes it. You know, it's one of those ones, like, you hear her roll with the force of the explosion of fire, but she is not down and out. Aelor, can you give me an athletics roll, please? Ooh, interesting little thing. And a perception check. Another 16. 16 apparently is the number of the day today.
Yeah.
You notice a Virik-shaped thing drop from the creature's legs within, like, running distance this turn, if you want to, like, change your trajectory to be over with him. Because he's actually, like, a bit removed because of the flight of the creature. So, yeah, you can run up and catch up with him where Virik kind of fell on one of the streets that litter crisscrossing the city.
Yeah, I'll do that. Is that gonna take my whole turn?
And you can talk as a free action.
Are you okay?
But yes, I'm good.
And that actually puts the two of you directly under the bird.
That's good. Okay, good.
Under the fire.
Do you want to tell me about the Gatestone or anything?
Oh, sorry. I haven't seen that. I was underneath it.
Well, you know it's there. You know it's in the city.
That's a good point. I would say Gatestone in there. They're obviously after it. Also, holy fuck.
It's like one of the things you feel the wind of this creature's massive wings beating.
Yeah, it's like, holy fuck.
Someone who currently feels burning is Barut. It's your turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to deal with this magma beast that's beside me now, or this fire creature.
No more Tobias. Its attention is focused on you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now here's the question. Do you think it speaks primordial?
It no longer looks like a fiery creature.
Hmm.
As I like, it almost like the magma kind of all
almost right.
cooled into something very much different. You can actually give me just a raw intelligence check. Nah. I was one of those ones without giving you too much information.
Yeah.
You might have just been able to, like, whoa!
Suss it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because is that kind of character. He's the house of the party.
Yeah. I am going to... grabbing fire seems like a terrible idea, but, you know... yeah, why not? I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds on it. It's not fiery anymore, right? So
it's not fiery. It's incredibly spiky.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's okay. Well,
not spiky enough to deal damage when you touch it. So that does hit.
Yep. Okie dokie. And that is at a 2nd level spell.
That's a big cast.
25
You
necrotic.
managed to, like, take a moment to see an area of its body that's not coated in spines.
Yeah.
Each one kind of glints in the light of the fire that lingers around in here, like they're incredibly sharp. And you managed to find an area where you can get a gauntlet, like, onto. It recoils back, steaming and smoking as it does. Again, you smell that intense scent coming off of it. And it
That burning,
screeches
smelly
out,
taste.
and you actually hear it. It screeches out in a language you don't quite understand, but then you hear it in your mind telepathically say, like, "Oh, you're going to pay for that. I'm going to eat you slowly."
As a free action, I kind of want to respond and just say, what do you have to say about that in my head to the dragon that's in my head? Because if he's in my head, he might be able to hear it back.
Yeah, he doesn't reply.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Much where I'm at now.
Papyra, unfortunately, has mostly fire spells. Being a light cleric, not grand, but she is going to cast Healing Word on you at 2nd level. So can you be a real doll, Will, and just cast Healing Word at 2nd level?
Yeah. What's her wisdom modifier though? Does it matter?
Just do it.
Just mine? Sure.
Yours is +4, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's the same as yours.
Cool.
She's wise. She's just a lower level cleric.
Yeah. So
Points
it's
of healing.
10. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Now prepare for the creature
Bless
to
you,
do
guys.
much more damage to you.
Yes.
Now, it would be more damage if I could get to my red demon dice, but unfortunately all I have is my green dice.
Yes.
Um,
Which just makes this.
which just rolled a 1. So, it's actually one of these things where you kind of say that up into your head, and then you hear a roar through your mind. And it actually shakes you, and it shakes the creature even more. Just completely unexpecting it. Staggering back at that. Actually spending this turn just scared of that whole situation.
This is going to be fun.
Is Tobias, who climbed up the pillar to the top of the chandelier, but the gatestone was taken up to the giants that are around 30 feet up from here.
30 feet, you say?
Yeah, it's 10 feet to the roof, and there's a big open hole. Yeah. I know what Tobias is likely to do is try to jump onto the roof to get a vantage
The rope's
point.
still hanging. It shook me off the rope.
Oh no, it definitely took the rope off as well.
Oh.
Yeah, the rope.
Yeah.
Would've
Like,
fallen.
not both at the same, but like, there's no way a creature
Okay,
like that's
yeah,
letting that hang on there.
No, yeah, no.
Damn. That would have been epic.
That would have been.
Oh, hold on. I need to read something really quickly. Oh, that's just walking speed. That doesn't help. Kind of helps. I'm thinking Zephyr Strike with that, but I'm on a pillar, so I don't have enough run up to get a good jump.
You don't
from
have a run up.
that anyways. Yeah, no, so
No.
that wouldn't be useful.
Also,
I will.
if he's
I mean,
raging,
the jump to the hole
I
is
lose.
something that he. Yeah, you're raging, so you have advantage on the athletics check.
I just wanted to see if that would be like which one would be more helpful in all likelihood, but I'm on top of a pillar, so just sticking with the rage. So I am going to try and jump to the roof. With
And even if you
Tobias.
fall, you're gonna take less damage.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Nah,
Oh,
that's great.
actually-
That's actually
Oh.
enough. And there's like no run up space, so it's one of those like look down, adjust position, leap. It's one of the ones where you just not clean. You grab. Tobias grabs onto the side where there's just this horrible exploded side to the dome that starts crumbling. You have to kind of like scrabble your way up onto the edge of the dome, but it gives you a much better position and a so much clearer view of what's happening up there.
Do I have enough left in my turn to wrap a rope around an arrow?
Yes,
Not to
that's,
shoot it.
I would say that's like a bonus action for next turn.
Okay.
You know? Like an
Alright.
item
So
interaction,
essentially-
whatever, you can do it.
Yeah. So that's the plan, is just to essentially rope an arrow and then for next turn be ready to shoot at the
Okay, Virik,
terrible plan.
you and Aelnor are under the bird. Now, because of the way the city kind of sits on a slope, you're actually 100 feet below it here. But you could climb the roofs of buildings nearby to get 10, 20 feet higher if you so needed.
Okay, so how far away are we from the building where all this is going down?
As the crow flies, not very far at all, like 50, 40 feet. Unfortunately, this building is way more convoluted than that. But if you wanted to climb the outside of it, you know, it would take you a turn to get to the outside and then start climbing. Because you can see Tobias up there at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Tobias looking up at the rook.
Tying a bow.
Would I be able to see him tying the rope? Yeah. I'm gonna look at Aelinor and just say, just go see if you can help them down there. I'm gonna pull out the mask, the bone one. I'm gonna look at it, look at Aelinor, and put it on.
And your wisdom increases. And you're gonna run?
I'm gonna run as fast as I can up to next to Tobias.
You're gonna have to give me a climbing check, athletics or acrobatics, to get up to Tobias, but the dogs of the town go wild as a giant bird attacks it. 17 in this situation, like you have a run up, there's all this chaos and drama.
I also, if I dash, I have 110 movement.
Exactly, with your movement, which is partly the reason why I'm allowing it, crazy monk speed and stuff. You get up beside Tobias using your entire turn. Exhausted, tired, but climb the side of the castle. At this point, though, the rock does not accept its masters. And considering Tobias and Virik are right the fuck there...
There's a reason I put the mask on before I went up there.
Yes.
Yep.
No, I knew why you were doing it. I'm just like, oh, but you're coming to me. I mean, like, Tobias is raging, so that's the only reason why I was comfortable putting him up there, but he isn't.
Look, monks need to get... You know, the closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm.
Yeah.
It is going to try and bite Virik.
Yep.
What's your AC?
15.
It hits.
Ah, damn it.
Oh, you know it's a big monster when I can't be bothered to find all the dice to roll it and just use roll 20.
Oh, no.
The giant beak of the creature, you know, it turns around and squawks at you and just bites. And this, the beak of the creature is so large, the edge is almost like being, you know, trapping your whole body in like a car door or something, you know. It ends up hitting you for 20 points of damage with just one bite. And that's like, you know, it bites and scrapes at you, but you manage to wrest yourself through. Tobias, on the other hand, is going to be attacked by the Talons. And he's also going to get hit. Tobias is going to get hit for 25 damage, half because he's raging, but is going to get like as scraped and scratched by their talons. The rock just plucks him up in both talons, squeezing him and grappling him, and holding him above the pit. Restraining him.
Almost what he wanted.
Almost what he wanted.
Almost. Not quite. I had a different plan.
Right. At this point, you two, Tobias and actually Aelinor as well, because giants do not have inside voices. It's just Barut who's kind of inside building and stuff like that. Hear the fire giants in giant say as they pluck up the gate stone, which actually looks really small in their hands. It's like, we got it. Let's go. Enough of this. Playtime's over. And just kind of wrest the straps of leather and chain and rope that they're using to control the rock. And the rock is spun around. It was kind of facing west, but it's spun around to start heading east. But it's going to move on its turn. But that's kind of their plan. But that's actually when the one who's not controlling it kind of looks down and sees you two there. Well, sees you, Virik, because Tobias is in the claws. And literally you hear him say, and it's like, we've got scragglers. And we'll cast Sacred Flame at you. Can you give me a dex save? Yeah, that's going to be a pass. I don't think you take half damage from Sacred Flame. I think you just straight avoid it. Like, you see it hold the holy symbol up. Can you give me a perception check, Virik? You're much closer.
Yes. Oh my god, my perception now.
It's like actually good. No,
I mean, I'm still rolled terribly, but it's +5. So.
It kind of like raises it, and you see fire kind of. You almost feel the heat bubbling around you, and as you duck to the side, there's just this like momentary explosion that dissipates into nothing. Now it's Aelnor's turn. Virik pieced out. Climbed the frickin' castle.
I have to get closer to this bird. Is there any way that I can get within 60 feet of it? Through climbing or whatever.
Through climbing?
Or
If you did what Virik did, yes, you would have a harder time of it because you don't have monk speed, and then that would be your whole turn as well.
That would be a whole turn.
And it's turning to leave.
Yeah. I can't do that. The only thing I can really do is shoot at it with a crossbow. And cast Ensnaring Strike.
Did the people get the javelin throws? Oh,
it's not gonna. It has advantage. I know it has a high save for it, so it really
is it's
a bit of a Hail Mary.
It is a Hail Mary.
Let me shoot.
Oh.
I get 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get another shot.
You don't with a heavy crossbow. It's got loading, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't matter anyway. Yep.
But it means at least the spell is stored for next time.
I mean, I could just try to toss the javelin with disadvantage.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh no,
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
giant bird.
the like trying to do this all quickly, like equip a heavy crossbow, drop it, throw like it's just so clunky. And this is not the kind of combat Aelnor's used to at all. It's just you don't even hit anybody. It's just a complete whiff. I imagine you're probably going to use your movement to just get closer though. Doing this whole thing as well. Barut, you see the bird above turning. The creature scared of you, but that's kind of shaken away by the time you turn comes around.
Yeah. I can't really do anything about the bird. I'm just going to say that right now because I do not have the spell slots or the abilities to do much with that at this
You telling me you don't have fly?
No.
Knowledge clerics don't get fly?
No, surprisingly, knowledge clerics do not get fly. Yeah, a bit of a weird one that. You know, it really missed out on an opportunity there, I think.
Oh, you're right. We didn't get the city lair action.
That's true.
yes.
They miss.
Oh, fuck.
It was a long shot.
There's still more like spears being thrown at it. It's just not.
Can I see the bird?
Yeah. It's 80 feet up.
You can try and tempt the bird to come and stay and eat you. It seemed pretty excited about that before.
Yeah, but Tobias is now in its claws. Bruit is on the ground in the. Like,
Oh fuck yeah! We need to stop it from getting away with Tobias.
Yeah.
Gonna feed it to its babies. It's gonna be like the end of Bug's life.
Oh no!
No, that's the bird. It's a miss, and then I am. Yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Healing Word at level 2 on myself. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it's coming.
It's coming. All right.
That was a really 12.
Papyrus, seeing your move, is going to try and cast Guiding Bolt on the bird as well, and she gets a 20.
Fucking right.
So she kind of like not in this melee. She actually has the time to focus. You know, focus her shot, focus her magic, focus all of that. I'm trying to get this dice off my face. And this beam grows in her hand, launches up. This creature's so large, the whole thing doesn't glow. It just makes a portion of it glow with that kind of bluish light that rests on it. And it's gonna take some wicked damage. I just need to find it for... It's a 8d6.
Yeah.
Nice.
The reason why is to give it advantage for Aelinor with that ensnaring strike to try again with the crossbow.
She, like, I mean, you don't know that's happening, but you know your friends are fighting it outside.
Exactly, yeah. The strategy is to allow my friends to maybe save Tobias.
It's also a crit on Guiding Bolt is 24 damage. Like,
that's
legit.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Next up is the wee beastie. Oh, the wee beastie that I'm currently using a Lego brick separator as a bookmark. Because I've got so many of them on this desk. They're useful for everything. Everything. It's just gonna full on attack you.
Yeah.
Just full on all 3 attacks.
My AC is still 20.
Still 20. Okay. Let me just crack that open like a egg. It hits you twice, so it means you dodge the tail swipe, which is the most dangerous of all the attacks. It's like a freaking barbed whip, but it still hits you with its claws, which are going to do less damage, but all together deal.
And my AC is now 18.
Dang.
15 damage altogether.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, when you dodged the worst of it.
Yeah. Yep. A little bit of luck there.
Tobias, you're in the bird's claws.
I want to break free, first of all, and second of all, still hold on, if possible.
That is a athletics check followed by an athletics check if you pass the first athletic check.
Okay.
Which I will allow because it makes sense in this situation.
And
It's
raging.
very much like he's just trying to like scooch, but
He's
still
trying to not be held, but hold.
But
like, it's
still
exactly
hold.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes
in
some
raw.
sense.
It probably, but no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. So first athletics check to see if you break out of the grapple. You do. It's freaking hard. This is probably, definitely the strongest creature Tobias has ever encountered. The grip on this creature, each claw, each finger of the talons is like an arm of the fire giant he fought a couple of hours ago. But you managed to wiggle out, luckily being small and nimble. And another athletics check to hold on. I was going to say he doesn't have rage, but he got attacked, so he does. And this is contested. Where's my dice? Here they are! Okay, it's rolling real bad. You hold on. Probably just holds on to one of the legs.
Yeah, he's like trying to be as close to the belly as possible so that the giants can't see him, right?
Giants probably like didn't have no idea that this is exactly.
He just doesn't want to alert them in that same way. Which, if you want me to roll stealth for him,
No. Well, yes.
Yeah, because I kind of figured that would be the case, and it would be.
That's what I did for Virik.
Just one stealth or two?
Just one stealth.
Sorry.
Just
one stealth. And
it's
not
one
an
stealth, but multiple creatures are checking against you.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. And it would not be at advantage because I am raging, which doesn't help stealth. Correct?
No. Yeah. That'd be an interesting barbarian, like a shadow barbarian.
That's kind of I just have no idea what.
Well, that's an idea.
Hey, I like it.
It's very hard for Tobias to tell.
Yeah.
And of course, the bird knows that you're there.
Yes.
There's no way it can't. But the giants seemingly don't. And he can hear them talking, so...
Right.
Virik, you can see that the bird is... Okay. Literally, the bird is moving its wings to do like a powerful swoop away right now.
But it turned on the spot, but it's still like...
It was like sort of... Now it's preparing like the freaking boost. The go.
Yeah, so they're all still within 60 feet.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to do the fairy fire.
Yep. Dex saves.
And 13 is what they have to be.
One of them does. That would be the rock, which makes sense. The giants fail.
Yeah.
Is your spell save still 13?
Yeah, because that's charisma. That's
right.
Yeah, that's my charisma.
Right. That's the charisma one.
So the blue magic kind of like, and it coats the two giants who are like turned away like. And one of them, you actually hear them in giants, like, what are these little beasts?
Okay. Now
Preparing
along the
to jump to
direction it's
hyperspace.
facing,
Yeah.
along the direction it's facing, can I see anyone holding a short bow or a crossbow, preferably a short bow?
Short bows, yes. Crossbows, no. Yeah.
Good. Okay. I want to run and like try and grab a short bow from someone.
There is no one near you. You're on the roof of a building.
Yeah, no,
All
I'll be
the-
running. I won't be able to fire at this turn, so this is me running towards them.
So give me an athletics check to land.
Acrobatics?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why I was confused. I was like, oh, yeah. Nope,
I mean-
you're going to take full damage. Luckily, it's
That's
less. It's probably
It's less
not going to
than
be
30,
any,
so-
but it is going to make you fall prone. Which,
Okay.
gotta remember that, because that's the real shit. Oh, that was wrong. That was d8s. I'm not going to give you a fake amount. You get the full damage. Alright, 34 full damage. You take 4 and fall prone.
I can't do that in the same move as casting Fairy Fire. So how much full damage?
34.
34, but then
Oh, sorry, I take 4 damage.
Yeah, and fall prone.
yes,
That was far.
yes.
The rock, with a strong beat of its wings, just spends its whole turn moving, and it flies basically to the east wall of the city in just one turn. And with that, we're going to take a quick break.